slide. Um, Today, we're going to cover topics on kindergarten transition. We're going to give you the specific meeting days, times, whether they're virtual or in person. We're going to go over kindergarten readiness, and we're going to supply you with some behavior strategies that you can use at home. So we have a lot to cover today, and we're excited to do it. So we're going to get things kicked off with the kindergarten transition process. Um, we know for parents that this is an extremely exciting time. The time goes so quickly. It seems like your child just came to us at 3 years old and we've turned around and in a blink of an eye, they're ready to go off to kindergarten. So we're right with you when we feel how fast that time's flying. So we want to just make sure that you're ready for the change, and we're going to give you those tools to be ready. We want to also mention that your child's success and readiness for kindergarten is a direct reflection of all of the dedication and hard work that you've put forth in partnership with our IU staff. So all the credit goes to you, and we want to really recognize what a great job you've done to get the kids ready. So, as exciting as the time we know this is, it also can be anxious for you. We know it can feel overwhelming. So to help you navigate through the process and better prepare for the transition, we're planning on covering the entire kindergarten process with you today. So we're going to review what's already been completed and what's coming up for you and what you can expect in the next couple months. So if you look at November, your child's demographic information was already shared with your home district, and this is going to help the district better prepare for your child's arrival. So that's already been done. You should have received notice at the end of December or beginning of January to attend an informal meeting with your district, and that meeting is going to be held in February. All of the kindergarten meetings for all of the school districts are held in February. It's just in a minute, and in a minute, I'm sorry, we're going to show you a slide that will break down your home district's meetings, the dates and the times of when those meetings are taking place. For many districts, you will have an individual 15-minute meeting. And for the virtual meetings, you will receive a virtual invite through your email that we'll need you to respond to so that we can RSVP a spot for you and the districts are aware of what time your appointments are. In both our virtual and in-person meetings, a representative from your district will be in attendance to discuss the transition process, and during this time, we will discuss your options and give you the opportunity to ask questions. At the end of the meeting, you will be given an intent to register form to complete. It will be sent to you through your email, and we're going to need your signature on that. This form is to let your district know your intentions for fall. And we want to point out that nothing is set in stone. So if you would happen to change your mind before the start of school, that's fine. This intent to register form is just to give your district an idea of what you're thinking about for fall so that they can better prepare for your child's arrival. Another thing we really want to stress is this intent to register for kindergarten form is not registering your child for kindergarten. That is going to be done on a separate day with your district, and they will provide you more specific details about kindergarten registration during your February meeting. So then we want to move on to April and what you can expect. In April, the IU is going to provide the home district with educational records and coordinate observations of your child if requested and needed. And then by May, our team will provide the home district with your child's final progress. That final progress is going to give the district a good idea of what we've been working on with your child, where we're leaving off, and where they can pick up. And we just want you to remember that this is an ongoing process right up until the day your child goes to kindergarten. We're going to be working closely with your districts throughout the spring and summer to ensure there's a smooth transition for your child in the fall. Okay, next up. So we want you to remember that your child is eligible to receive services from the MIU4 through September 1st. So through the summer, your child can attend summer duration sessions. And this year's dates include June 22nd through the 26th, July 20th through the 24th, August 17th through the 21st. If your district is holding special events such as orientations, tours, or other fun summer activities, we always encourage you to attend those first. We want you to receive the most up-to-date information from your district, of course. So then if time allows around those events, then you can, of course, have your child attend our summer duration. So then we move on to the next slide. We want you to remember that if your child is K eligible and you are considering going to a non-public school, please just remember that non-public schools do not have special education or utilize IEPs. Students who have been found eligible and in need of special education can receive relevant and available services at the non-public schools through equitable participation or EP. Details on equitable participation can be discussed at your February transition meeting. And please reach out to your county coordinators or supervisors for more information. And all of your coordinators and supervisors' information, we're going to include on the slide at the end for you. So you're going to have that to reference. Okay, so let's take a peek at when these transition meetings are taking place. So we'll start off with Butler County. Butler County this year has 5 in-person meetings and 2 virtual. So the in-person meetings include Knock, Karnes City, Mars, Montauk, Slippery Rock. Those are all in person. And then your 2 virtual districts are Butler and Seneca. And you'll notice that Seneca is spread out over 3 days. We have many children coming through that district. So when you receive your invitation, it will have one of those specific dates included for you. Then we'll move on to Lawrence. And right now, Lawrence, we have 5 in-person meetings with Elwood City, Laurel, Mohawk, Shenango, and Wilmington. And then the virtual meetings for Lawrence County are with Neshannock Township, Newcastle, and Union. And again, Newcastle also a big district. We're spread over 3 days for meetings, and your invitation will list one of those days for your specific meeting. And lastly, Mercer, big county. Mercer this year has 9 in-person meetings with Farrell, Greenville, Grove City, Hermitage, Jamestown, Lakeview, Mercer, Sharpsville, and Sharon. And then the 3 virtual meetings for Mercer County are held with Reynolds, Commodore Perry, and West Middlesex. Again, please, if you felt that you should have received an invitation for your district's meetings and you didn't receive it, please, by the end of this presentation, or if you want to reach out to us individually, let us know that we can, so that we can follow up on that. We'll make sure that you get your invitation out to you. Anyone needing any further information on these meetings, please feel free to reach out to your county preschool coordinator, which again, our information will be at the end of the slide. We're here to help. We're happy to help with any questions that you have or help you understand what's coming up next. So next up, we're going to have Nikki talk to us a little bit about kindergarten readiness.
Good morning, everyone. I'm glad you're able to join us, and I'm going to go over some ideas and activities for you to prepare for kindergarten. Even if you don't have a young one going to kindergarten this fall, all these resources can be utilized for your preschooler no matter what the age. Go to the next slide, Trace. Thanks. Kindergarten readiness prep and practice. Many of you preparing for kindergarten in the fall, and even if you aren't, like I said, these resources can be very helpful for your children. Preparing for kindergarten should be playful and fun. So I'm going to go over some activities that you can fit into your everyday life to help prepare your little ones for his or her first big day. Parents should approach with the same excitement and anticipation that you want your child to experience for kindergarten. Even though as parents, we know it's overwhelming and can be a little scary to let your little one go, but we always want to look forward to that joy and excitement and put that out to your children. So while there are ways to integrate basic preparation into your child's everyday life, please be careful not to add unnecessary kindergarten prep stress. Um, Help your child feel that starting kindergarten is a great new adventure to look forward to. And try to remember your child doesn't need to be proficient in anything when entering into the kindergarten classroom. You shouldn't feel pressure, and neither should your child. The school will be preparing for your child to come to them. So here are some great ideas to integrate into your days to easily prep for kindergarten. And the first one is practice everyday tasks. And some ideas for these everyday tasks would be practice personal hygiene independence, which is brushing teeth, helping them floss their teeth independently, washing their hands, practice putting on and zippering up their own jackets, hang up their jackets on a hook or their designated spot, work on opening and closing their backpacks, lunch boxes, and even opening and their own snack items because they'll be doing this, in kindergarten for lunchtime. Put their sneakers or shoes on themselves, even if they still need some help with tying their shoes. Help around the house. That could be helping clear the dishes, load the dishwasher, or even set the table. Next, make cleanup fast and fun. Don't be afraid to use the cleanup song, just like we would do in a classroom, to make it fun. This makes cleaning more exciting for your little ones. Some other ideas you can incorporate into your child's daily routine um, of cleaning up is challenge them to a game to clean up. Like, first, we're going to find all the red toys and put them away, and then all the blue toys, and so on. You can also put things away in order of like smallest to largest or largest to small. You can count to 50 or say the alphabet. Like, let's all have the toys put away by the time we're done saying the alphabet. There are so many ways that you can work on this while they're learning to be independent. So just try to be creative, and it'll be fun for your little one. Next, let kids in on school supply prep. And I feel like a lot of people already look forward to this, and the kids will also. Um, so um, this can help create enthusiasm and ownership about their own, picking out their own backpack, personal belongings like crayons, pencils, pencil box. Create and follow a visual schedule. Adapting to a new routine and following a set schedule is a huge part of the move to kindergarten because at home the kids have so much independence on what they want to do for the day. So you can practice this at home by helping your child create a visual schedule with everyday activities and just their normal day, like waking up, eating breakfast, brushing their teeth. Um, have everything in a sequential order, similar to what they would follow in a classroom. Have the day laid out so they can anticipate what's coming next. This not only helps with self-regulation for your child, but it creates a connection between pictures and words and what their meanings are. Establish a goodbye routine. This is very big as we all anticipate our little ones going to kindergarten. So to make that separation a little bit easier, know what drop off or pickup's going to look like, and familiarize your child with that by walking through the routine. Walk through how he or she's going to get to school, what they're going to see along the way, and even how they might say goodbye to you for their first time on that big day at kindergarten. Um, Part of the goodbye plan might involve finding a simple way for your child to connect to you while they're at school. So a lot of times they suggest maybe putting a picture of you in their backpack, just so that they know it's there. And if given the chance, they can look at that if they're missing you. And another option is planning a kiss on their hand that they can carry with them all day, and reading the Kissing Hand by Audrey Penn, which is one of my favorites, to prepare them to go to kindergarten. And then leading into reading that book, read to kids early and often. The best way to get your child ready for school is just to expose them to as many books as humanly possible. Um, just reading simple books together, or even having your child tell you a story with pictures, will help with their literacy skills. And talking about the story and asking your child how they think a character might feel can help create connections and help build those social and emotional skills that they need for kindergarten. Um, finding finding fun and everyday trips. We all take our kids to tag along with us on errands to the grocery store, post office. Um, all of these can be learning experiences. Taking kids to neighborhood places or outings like the zoo or the jump park. Um, these are great ways to help them develop the understanding of the world around them, as well as give them those bonus opportunities for those social skills that they need so much in kindergarten. Break out some old-fashioned board games, introducing children to so many of those board games that we all used when we were young, like Chutes and Ladders and Candyland. This is not only fun for everyone, but it also allows your child to unknowingly work on skills that they need in school, like taking turns, waiting, following instructions. Use dice or flip cards and learn math concepts such as numbers and counting. Play I Spy. I Spy with My Little Eyes, a popular and playful game that helps children with their letters and sounds with words and objects. Always a fun option while sitting and waiting to keep them busy or while you're in the car. You can use food to help with patterns and sorting. Encourage your child to play with their food. Giving children different kinds of cereal or candy and having them sort out various help sort out in various ways, like by color, by size, practice counting. There's so many things you can do with something just as simple as their food. Have fun with collages. Get out those old magazines and have your child turn them into art with an educational purpose. Have them look for certain letters, objects, colors, shapes, and then have them glue them onto collage is a great way to practice those skills. And then open-ended play. Supply several different materials so that they sit there for a longer period of time, because they'll be expected to do this in the classroom and it's really hard for kids to sit. So practicing these skills and engaging them in play is a great way to increase that time for them to sit. Let kids make a mess. This is always fun when they're in preschool and kindergarten, by giving them some shaving cream, maybe glitter, and letting them practice letters and numbers is a great way for them to think that they're getting away with something, but they're actually learning. Set up playtime with peers. Refreshing those skills before school goes a long way, and just taking your kids to the playground in your places in your neighborhood, or setting up play dates with other kids. Answering questions and practice open communication. It's normal for kids to have first day butterflies, not just about separating from you, but in terms of what kindergarten is going to actually look like. Let your child know what to expect. So give them as much information as possible about what kindergarten is going to look like, what to expect that first day, what to expect when they leave mom and dad. And one way to do that and to help it along is by reading stories about the first time going to kindergarten. Once again, practicing those literacy skills. Thanks, Tracy. More reading. Encourage books with reading and numbers. Read books and count numbers together. Find books that offer opportunities to count along in pages of the book. Exposure to books with numbers helps preschoolers build number recognition and counting skills. Here is a list I put together of some books that your kids can have fun with, but also have numbers in it to push those numbers in math for them to learn. You can double click on any of these and it will take you right to Amazon. Thanks, Tracy. So you can look at the books, read what the books are about, and even purchase if you like. Early number activities, count in a fun, active way. Count as you climb the steps, count as you jump, count objects at a store, count snack items. The list can go on and on for counting every day around your house. Play games that build math skills, play dice, play cards, chutes and ladders, hi-ho Cheerio, go fish, and count your chickens are just a few. You can look on the internet and it will give you a long list of great early number games to play with your kids at home to help with that. Practice math by cooking together. You can count the ingredients in the recipe, on the carton, what temperature do we set the oven on. This is just a great way to expose numbers to your children while you're having fun cooking with them. Build math into everyday conversations. How much does this apple weigh? Let's weigh it together. How many oranges do we have? Let's divide up the cookies in equal parts. Who is taller, me or you? Just the list can keep going on and on and on of ways to expose your children to numbers and math. Kindergarten readiness books. I have a 2-page list here of a great way to introduce and start talking about kindergarten with your children. The start of kindergarten is such a special milestone filled with excitement and butterflies for both your child and you. As your little ones go on this journey, reading is such a great way for them to feel eager and help them succeed on getting ready for kindergarten. Early literacy is incredibly important because it lays the foundation for a lifetime of learning. Reading as much as possible and making reading fun is always encouraged. And then this list is a great way for you to do that with your child. And it's going to help build in literacy, yet helping your little one get excited and ready for that new journey for kindergarten. This is a list of kindergarten readiness apps. We know so many kids these days love to be on their tablet. They love playing games. They almost sometimes can become obsessed with those tablets. So here's a list of some kindergarten readiness apps. And this way, if they're on their tablet, you know that they're, getting ready for that first big day. Just a reminder about unnecessary screen time that a lot of times we don't think about as parents. And I know it gets hard because the kids want those tablets and the screens so much, whether it's a tablet or TV. But keeping the television on throughout the day as background noise or letting your preschool on the tablet for more than an hour a day is considered unnecessary screen time. And like I had mentioned, it's hard, but try to remember and keep that in the back of your mind. And then healthy screen time tips, establish limited screen time and have discussions with your child about the limiting screen time and why. Research games and apps before buying or using them. Make sure that they're appropriate for your child and that they're actually learning when using that, that tablet. Engage with your kids during screen time and learning. So try as much as possible to sit down with them while they're playing those learning games so that they feel that you're part of their learning with them. Establish meals and bedtimes that are family time, no screens. So if you're sitting down for dinner or breakfast, make sure your kids know that there should be no screens at that point in time. So that way you're forced to, talk to one another, enjoy time, that family time. Be sure to schedule plenty of non-screen time fun and learning into your child's day. So as we had talked about earlier, those um, those visual schedules and putting those up, make sure that you have a lot of the no screen time fun planned in each and every day. Next, Tracy. Thanks. Here's some healthier alternatives to screen time. Children learn best interacting with the world around them. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends limiting the amount of time that preschoolers spend in front of a screen. How much is too much? They say preschoolers age 2 to 5 should have no more than 1 hour of screen time each day. So just try to keep that 1 hour in the back of your mind as your child is begging you for their tablet all day, every day. Next, Tracy. Um, Kindergarten Here I Come readiness activity. This activity book, Kindergarten Here I Come, is filled with fun ideas that you can do together to get ready for kindergarten and beyond. These activities will help give your child the foundation for positive and happy future school experiences. Every month contains 4 weeks of activities that use simple materials or ideas that you can do at home. Each one of the activities focuses on readiness skills for your child's entry into kindergarten. You can do all or some of the experiences on each page, and they can be done in any order at any time. And then this is where you can access that kindergarten readiness activity. Oh, thanks, Tracy. This is an amazing resource. And as it goes through, it gives you so much information. As you can see, like early learning tips and tricks. And then here is the September one, learning at home. So you can see that it gives you information on learning at home, internet resources, and then it gives you great ideas for every week activities. So it's just a great resource. Even if you get busy and you get off track, you can always go back to this and then just look for great ideas every month to work on with your children. As you can see, October was safety. The list goes on and on and on of so many different. Let's see, what's the next one, Trace? So you can see this lists just all the different months and what they work on, reading, writing, listening, and speaking, developing positive relationships, getting ready for kindergarten. So every month, not only are they talking about these things, but they're giving you resources and activities to work on. And you can just click right there and it will take you right to that page that Tracy just showed you. This is just more resources. This is Petian Kindergarten Transition Resources. They have on here the transition process from early intervention to school age programs. If you click on that, that will take you to Petian. It will give you all that information. Thanks, Tracy. Like you can see, the next one is considerations for children who are blind and visually impaired. And then the last one is considerations for children who are deaf or hard of hearing. So it's just a great resource. If you want more information, that's a great place to go to help you with that transition process. Here I've just included some resources for you parents at home. That first one, kindergarten transition. Our supervisors had put this together, and it's it's a s'more that includes all kinds of information on our kindergarten transition process and provides you with more information. You can see the transition meeting day, frequently asked questions, and then, of course, we always encourage, even if you check out these resources we've provided and you have more questions, feel free to reach out to us at any time. Like Shanna had mentioned earlier, we're going to provide you with information to contact any of us, whether it be one of us coordinators or one of the supervisors. Also on here is just our MIU4 Family Support Padlet, which our behavior coaches will be going over with you a little bit more later also. So many great resources on here. You can see kindergarten readiness, early intervention, our family resource trainings. So if you want to see more of them, they're on there, the different ones that we've put together. Information from our social workers, and then more behavior supports and just interesting information that has to do with preschool that has been put on here. And then the next one is MIU4 Early Intervention. It just takes you to our IU website. So you can look around on there, or if you're looking for anything in particular, it takes you right to our website for you to be able to look around. And then next up is going to be our behavior coaches, which is Rachel Ashley and Carly Weaver. They're going to go over some wonderful resource strategies for behaviors at home. We had sent out a survey a few months ago, and this is one thing that parents have requested that they would like to see. So I hope you enjoy this wonderful information they're going to share with you.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here. Just to introduce myself and Rachel, we are both special ed teachers and are currently in this role as behavior coach for the IU, specifically in early intervention. So Rachel and I support the 10 classrooms that we have, and then we also support our itinerant staff that go into the community preschools and daycare, childcare to support those students as well. We are really an extra set of eyes to help our special ed teachers and the therapists with any problem behaviors that may arise, and a resource for you guys as well. You know, if something's going on at home, we're going to give you some tools today that you can implement. You can reach out to your child's special ed teacher, and then we can kind of brainstorm and see what would best work for your child. So Tracy, you can advance the slide. One resource that we do have for you, which is actually on the Padlet that Nikki talked about, it's posted on there. A big way that we are here to support families and the children in our classroom is through the statewide initiative of positive behavior interventions and supports, which is what we call PBIS. We have participated in this initiative for the last several years. And this program really focuses on, we use data-based decision making to promote learning for all of the students in the classroom. So we support through positive behavior. We also have a social emotional learning curriculum called PATHS that we use in the classrooms. So, we're using explicit instruction through that curriculum to engage the children, to use positive reinforcement, teach problem solving, and family engagement as well. So if you are in an EI, if your child is in an EI classroom, I'm sure you've seen information on Paths Come Home, but that is a huge resource for our teams that we use. And it uses little puppets and goes through different scenarios with the puppets that the teachers and the staff act out and give your students different lessons each week. So the staff in the classrooms really work together to ensure that all students are receiving a level of support that they individually need. So we have a data team meeting every month, and we really discuss children in the classroom that need extra support, and we kind of determine what level of support in the classroom they need and what tools, as Rachel is going to go over some of the tools here in a minute, so that they can best learn the expectations in the classroom and really to promote just overall growth and development of your child. Next slide, Trace.
All right. Like Carly said, this is a slideshow that's available through the Padlet. But we just kind of took some screenshots so we can talk through them all right now. But in there you'll find what we've referred to as a one pager, and those are there where they illustrate and they describe what the strategy is and breaks it down for you in all the different ways. So on this side over here, it says, what is the strategy, why you would use the strategy, when you would use the strategy, breaks it down into steps on how to use the strategy and any materials that you might need for that strategy. It shows you teaching strategy points, and then at the bottom, it shows examples of when or how you would use it. I think these are really helpful because you can start thinking about different points in your day. And like Carly had mentioned too, you can be asking your teacher, or if your student has a speech therapist, you can ask them as well. They can refer to this stuff, create things for you, send it home, help discuss where you might need some supports. But this one is visual schedules. And this is an example of one, maybe your child is having a difficult time, transitioning from home to school. And so we might need to visually set up a schedule that then shows all the things that are happening in that day to get them out the door successfully and smoothly. So this is one that just has pictures where they woke up, they checked it off as done, they used the bathroom, then they eat breakfast, then they get dressed, then they grab their backpack and go out the door. This, is helpful for not only the student, but also, you and whoever is responsible to get them to where they need to go in the morning. We've used this and referred to this strategy a lot with sometimes students start each day at a different place, or sometimes they go to childcare on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the morning, and then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, they might go to grandma's house. So it's really to set them up for success and, set up that predictability for their day. Next one, please. Here's another strategy that's called forced choice. Again, there's that visual that's there of why and how and when to use it. But this is as simple as making a T-chart and you providing, maybe you have a lot of that power struggle happening where you just need them to get their shoes on. At this point, it doesn't even matter what shoes they're wearing. Just put on a pair of shoes so that we can get out the door. I know that happens a lot in my house. I have a almost 5-year-old, so I'm, making that transition to kindergarten myself at home. And it's, these shoes don't match, but it's also snowing outside. So how do we make a decision that's going to work? So here you just put two options, both that you as the parent or as the family member are okay with, and then they make that choice. So it puts them in control of that choice. So if they want, a fruit, and you're okay with any fruit, or they want a snack, you put two options of that you would like them to choose from, and they make that choice, and it's successful and calm. So that is a nice one to have for a lot of different areas of your day. Next one is choice boards. These are super useful, and we have, in early intervention, we have students that we use a total communication approach. So we have students that, are vocal verbal, where they're using their words. They might be using an iPad. They might be using pictures where they're touching. It's a whole mix of all the different ways to get their communication out and get their wants and needs met. So these are just nice pre-made choice boards right here on the screen. They could be made up of anything in any part of your day. Again, that's when you reach out to your child's speech therapist or their teacher and kind of let them know what's going on when you're having a difficult time, when your child's having that difficult time of getting those communication needs met. But here are some, when something hurts, they're able to look at the pictures and point to what may hurt or what they need, how they're feeling in our classrooms. And in our classrooms, we use a choice board a lot for snack time. So what kind of snack would you like? It can be as complex or as simple as you need it to be. It can be left in the location of where that might be happening. A lot of times you can put, choice boards on the fridge if that's where, snack is all located. So there are some examples there for helping that total communication. All right, this one is First Then. It's another version of a visual schedule, just simplified there. So if you need to break down those steps where a visual schedule of 5 things is just too much to take in and too much to follow, a First Then would work really great where first you put on your pajamas, then we'll read the book. Or when there's a difficult task but you need them to do something first before they get something that's motivating to them or reinforcing to them, first pajamas, then milk or something like that. So it just breaks it down to a very simple visual schedule of 2 things. So you can just lay those both out, this first, then this. And that simplicity of words really helps too, of instead of putting all of those words, well, first we're going to put on pajamas and then we're going to read the book Cat in the Hat and then we're going to do this. It gets to be too much. And then sometimes it might make them, make it even more difficult than it actually was in the beginning. So really simplifying those words and those visuals of first this, then this. And the last one we have on here, this explains what promise reinforcers are. Just the difference between promise reinforcement and bribery, where when, things are difficult sometimes and you need that motivation to complete that task or to do something that you haven't learned yet, where you have to teach them something they haven't learned yet. So using that promise reinforcement, presenting that before you have them do something, first you hold up, let's say, first you hold up a goldfish and you want them to put their shoes on or come here, and just really presenting that reinforcement before the tasks you're asking them to do instead of afterwards when they don't complete the task. Then you're like, if you do this, I'll give you a goldfish. So it really narrates that all. The visual is a little hard to see on that small screen, but if you look on the actual slide, it breaks it down and explains all of that there. As well as, sorry, let me go back. One more thing. Thanks, Tracy. As well as those one-pagers and some of those visuals, there are links on all of those slides with additional helpful resources, really breaking it down and pulling from, websites of where and why those are beneficial and how to do them. Again, please reach out to your child's teacher or speech therapist. They'd be more than happy to help create the resources for you, walk you through that. And if they ever have questions, like Carly said, they could reach out to us for some additional eyes and additional suggestions. And then this part, Carly, do you want to explain a little more on that? The Padlet.
Yep. So this Padlet is something that Nikki linked in this training. So it is something that we update monthly. And you'll see any kind of update. We have our family survey on the Padlet. We do all of our procedural safeguards are on there. So what to do, in the IEP process, different ways to connect in the community. I have all of our teachers will send us different things that they hear of that's going on in the different counties or the different areas, and I will post them on there to get your child more involved, or parent support groups as well. We have a lot of our kindergarten readiness that'll start to change, and I'll update that as well. And if you scroll over, Tracy, there are just different informational kind of handouts that we get we get emails about them and then we subscribe to them. So if you scroll down a little bit there's the using positive language this month and then labeling emotions. So that's kind of just a one-page guide to give you some quick tips. So those change out every month as well. So if I ever see something that I would feel is beneficial, I update it in the summer too to kind of look at different things that you can be doing at home with your children. Sensory bin ideas, different things to get them outside, and gross motor play. I try to kind of, look at all of the developmental areas and put those in there. So I think that's all about the Padlet, but it is updated monthly, so make sure that you check back on it.
Here is our county contacts, which would include all 3 county supervisors and also us coordinators. As Shanna had mentioned earlier, anything that you guys want, if you want more information from us coordinators, supervisors on kindergarten transition, please reach out to us, and we'll be glad to provide you more information. Also, if you have any questions about anything for your children and early intervention, just reach out to us at any time, and we're always happy to help. Right, go, Tracy. We already went. No, sorry, I thought this was our slide from before. Our upcoming family resource training in the spring will be April 23rd at 10 a.m. And we're looking forward to seeing you there. Hopefully you're able to attend, and we'll be sending out an invitation just like Tracy had sent out last week, letting you know what all we'll be reviewing and going over for that family resource training. And thank you all for joining us. We appreciate taking time out of your busy day to join us today. And we can open it up now. We'll stop recording.